Hello, everyone, and it is Matt and Geoff back for another real review. Thank you for tuning in. It is another one of those special reviews where I haven't seen the movie and Geoff once again has. Geoff, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing pretty good. We got a busy week over here, man, but we'll talk about that later. Right now. I want to hear about this movie because give us a little bit of background on this movie. You know the whole situation about it. It goes back to the
Yeah,
Zaslav
it
stuff.
was
Talk about it
yeah,
for us.
so The Day the Earth Blew Up Looney Tunes movie. That's one of those movies where I mean it was made by Warner Brothers because they have the rights to the Looney Tunes, and it's just one of those titles that ended up being shuffled around so much, and then maybe it was going to be buried at some point, just like how Coyote versus Acme might be or currently is, which is bad, or Batgirl or Scoob Holiday Haunt, some of those ones that are just all being made and then buried for a tax write-off, which is crazy and shouldn't be allowed.
It
And
shouldn't.
this one, though, was sold off to Ketchup Entertainment. Now, they're a studio that doesn't really have a great track record. They release stuff like Hellboy the Crooked Man and Hypnotic, that Robert Rodriguez Ben Affleck movie. So here comes this tiny little studio that doesn't have the marketing budget of Warner Brothers or anything else, and they happen to get a hold of this Looney Tunes movie. It's the second Looney Tunes movie in history that is distributed by a company that isn't Warner Brothers. And it doesn't actually have most of the Looney Tunes in it. In fact, it's the only main like Looney Tunes that are actually even featured in the movie, at least as far as I'm aware, are Porky Pig and Daffy Duck, or Daffy Duck as two little animals that get raised together. So they're basically like brothers. They're raised by a man named Farmer Jim, and when he goes away, then they get to own the house, and they need to keep the house up in tip-top shape. And the neighborhood HOA or whoever wants to tell them that they're not up to code and they need to fix their house, or else they're kicked out of the neighborhood. So they have to get money to fix their roof, and that means typical hijinks ensue of can these two Looney Tune animals do normal day-to-day jobs, or are they just going to be a bit too loony? And they eventually meet up with another classic Looney Tune, Petunia Pig, who is known as Porky's significant other in the pantheon of Looney Tunes stories,
Yes,
and
she
they get
is.
to work alongside her at a gum factory. So it's that all sounds kind of silly and weird until wait a minute. Also, the gum might actually be tainted by alien goo, and people are being possessed if they eat the gum. It's the day the earth blew up like a bubble, like a gum bubble. And it's can they stop the aliens from whatever this invasion of the body snatcher situation is? You don't see Bugs Bunny, you don't see Sylvester or Tweety or any of those, just these guys. Interesting story. Interesting way to be like, hey, let's do another Looney Tunes movie. And I gotta say, it's very charming. It's pretty funny. In a lot of ways, I really like the animation that's used there. It's great to see some 2D animation again, outside of anime. Um, you really have the products that have that are pretty few and far between at this point. And there's some parts where it's like, man, there's like the texture that was in the old Looney Tunes animations is kind of gone with the new like clear like digital animation style with some character designs and the way their faces move and whatnot. But the backgrounds, a lot of the other action and energy in it, it's pretty great. It looks great, and it speeds along. It's 90 minutes. It's 9 minutes long. And it's really cute. Everyone who watches it would at least be like, "Oh, that was pretty entertaining. Yeah, I enjoyed myself." That's pretty much it. I know I just kind of like rambled right through it, but
Uh, for a long time Looney Tunes fans, how do you think they'll feel about this film?
I think they like it. It's just like an extended short, one of their shorts. Um, I think that it probably lags a little bit here or there, but it does try to keep that constant pace that you see in a lot of stuff like a Naked Gun or whatever, where it's like we're going to go to this next thing and we can say something funny to this next thing for something funny, and they keep it going at a pace in which I don't think that people are going to be that tired by it. If you like the Looney Tunes, it really, for the most part, keeps in that spirit of humor. There's a couple more contemporary, modern things. There's like, one way we can become, we can make money is by being influencers. So it shows a smartphone thing of Daffy Duck of a BBL and then like twerking on camera. That sounds cringeworthy, and
Yeah.
it kind of is, but it's a fun. It's like not the punchline of a joke. It's a continuation of a continuing bit that they're going through. So it's not the worst kind of joke considering where it is on its own. Describing it, oh man, yeah, that sucks to hear, but it's kind of funny. Overall, I think Tunes fans would like it. Yeah.
So do you? I'm trying to think of. Do you wish that Warner would have just straight up?
They could have done something. They could have done some sort of smaller thing. Hell, they could have even done a fucking Juror number 2 style release with it, where it still goes into a handful of theaters and then that's it. Because at least then it could build a better like word of mouth type deal that showed how like it made Juror number 2 kind of swell up and people were able to see that. I think that this is likable enough across all like main demographics that it had the selling ability, I think, to at least become something that people could over time discover. Maybe that'll happen with Ketchup Entertainment. I don't think that they necessarily have as much financial support in order to build that, but I quality wise, just on its own, I think it's bad when Warner Brothers and their properties they commission things and then they're not then they end up just choosing not to release them. You sell it off at least, that's fine. I wish that this had a bigger reach because I think people would enjoy it, but I'm glad it still got out there. I still have no faith in Warner Brothers in a lot of this stuff. They have a lot of interesting auteur filmmaker viewed or lens projects coming soon, and hopefully they're able to support them more than they do like this.
So if you're giving this a final rating, what are you giving it?
I think, like I said, I like most of the animation. I think it's cute. It's 90 minutes, and it feels like a couple of episodes stitched together, maybe a little stretched out, a bit too much. But even then, I like it. I like it quite a bit. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's not the greatest film I've seen in my life, but it's not bad. It's pretty likable. You can show it to a kid, and they'll like it. They'll love it. Maybe.
Interesting. All right, and that was our review of The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. One of quite a few reviews we're dropping this week. Tomorrow, you can check out our review for Novocaine, or my review for Novocaine. Excuse me, Geoff wasn't.
Yeah, I wish I was able to get to that to help.
So yeah, you can check out the review for Novocaine on Thursday. I don't have a graphic for this yet, but on Thursday you can come back and check out my review for Black Bag, the new Steven Soderbergh film starring Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett. Just
another one I wish I could have caught up on in order to chat with you about. He's one of my favorites.
I love Soderbergh. I really love Soderbergh.
But I love this post-retirement phase.
And then finally, Geoff and I are really excited to share this one with you guys. Friday, our review for Apple TV's The Studio Season 1 drops. It is a non-spoiler review. Anything we talk about that is, for the most part, seen in the trailers. So you can check that out. We try not to go too deep into detail for anyone who hasn't, since most of you won't finish watching it until May. But yeah, it's a fun review and a fun show, and I think you'll enjoy that. So be sure to check that out also. Got a lot dropping this week, and I'm excited for you guys to come back and check it out. But until then, folks, signing off, I'm Matt, that is Geoff, and this was another Real Review. We'll see you next time.